Saleh and Rashid are old-time friends who graduate from the same university with similar qualifications and that same youthful drive to build their careers. They join two different companies and start working hard. Saleh joins a manager that can only be described as terrible. He doesn't give him any challenges or learning opportunities or projects or give him a room to learn and grow. Soon, Saleh starts to get frustrated. Whenever he gives his manager an idea or initiative, the manager crushes it down. He looks for ways to develop. He goes and gets a master's degree to promote his career. Now, the manager, starts to get worried and scared, and instead of passively stopping him, he makes his life miserable. Saleh knows he is overqualified and under-challenged at his organization. Even after 5 years there, he still feels like a fresh graduate. Yet, he now has a family, a young family, and he feels like he can't really take that risk and go somewhere else. Fact is, talent management has crushed his dreams and failed his potential and is failing him. Saleh is not alone. 1 in every 4 employees worldwide is actively disengaged, and the rest are not so engaged. When we zero in on that millennial group, that generation that is now almost mid-career in their 30s, we find that almost 70% of them are planning to leave your organization in the next 2 years. That's a big drain of talent. And when we ask them, almost 90% of them say that career growth is important, and many of them are dissatisfied with that. And it's not just millennials. Nearly 70% of everybody else also says career growth is important. No matter where you are in your career, you care about growing and learning and developing. Now that's on the employee's side. What about organizations? Do we listen? Do we understand those needs? Well, not really. 2 out of every 3 companies do not give employees that opportunity for a career conversation, a plan, and a discussion of their aspirations. A very simple thing is not there for our employees. There's no wonder why that gap exists and why talent management is failing not only Saleh, but everybody else. So what happened to Rashid? Well, Rashid, on the other hand, joined a fast-growing organization that was looking for hard-to-find local talent like him. With a technical degree, he excels at the technical job. He does really well at solving problems and achieving performance, and management takes notice. Rashid was on the fast track of growth. He was a high potential. In less than 5 years, Rashid is promoted to manager. He thinks that he's achieving his career objectives. Yet, now the new position requires a new kind of focus. From thinking about his own job and tasks to managing those of a team. From using skills, technical skills that he was taught at the university, to using leadership skills and management, things that he wasn't trained for. From thinking about his own performance to coaching a team, it's easier said than done. And he struggles. Some of the team members he's working with have many more years of experience. One of them has 20 plus years of experience. And Rashid doesn't know how to deal with people that well. There's a disconnect. The team doesn't believe in his leadership. They don't see why he should be the manager. Yes, he's technically competent, but he's not helping them work together. They don't believe in him. They don't listen to him. And soon enough, his team starts to get very frustrated and performance is affected. Now in this case, talent management has put the person in the position that they're not ready for. And talent management is failing Rashid's team and the organization. Rashid and his organization are not alone in this challenge. In fact, when it comes to filling the right positions, 75% of companies say it's harder this year than it was before. And I expect that to just increase. And the cost of, refilling these positions, if we remove Rashid and try to find somebody else, can be up to a third of Rashid's annual salary. That's a big expense. We want to fill the right positions and not have to refill them over and over again. And so often we keep these people in these positions even if they're not effective. And it's not neutral. It's very damaging. When we look at employee engagement, which is strongly linked to performance through so many studies, up to 70% of that engagement can be attributed to the manager. The manager has the biggest say in whether the people enjoy their work and perform it well. And it's not just that. When we look into the productivity measure, and productivity can decrease by 1 to 2.5% of the annual revenue of an organization on account of what we call the learning curve. What does that mean? It means when we hire somebody into a position they're not ready, they're going to learn. And learning takes time. And that time where they're learning affects productivity. And not just by a little bit. It can affect productivity up to 2.5% of the total revenue. That's a lot of money that is wasted because we're not equipping people to perform their jobs when they need to perform them. And if we think about the Rashid's example, we can see how it applies to so many other companies, and we can see how talent management is really failing them too. So, how many Salihs and Rashids do you know? And how many are at your organization?